Who are this year's biggest winners and losers of this NBA season off-season here? We're here to break it down for you guys. Welcome guys to another video. This is BabyNation.com. Welcome to another video. And guys, today, like I said, today we're going to be predicting, well, we're not really going to be predicting. We're going to be going through what each NBA team is going through, and then we're going to bring some winners and losers just by basis off-season. No matter if it's a draft, the free agency, we're just going to go ahead and hop right into it. So, like I said, if you guys already, make sure to hit the like, if that subscribe button, make sure to join the Discord and follow me on Twitch. Make sure you guys as well go check out our free merch shop, which we'll get here in just a little bit. And then if you guys as well, if you guys are interested, please join our 1v1 Rocket League tournament that we have coming up. That's going to be coming up very soon here as well. Like I said, I appreciate your support. Make sure you hit the like and that subscribe button. You guys are the best. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get things rolling. But first, we have to go through our quick things real quick, and then we'll get started. If you guys haven't checked out our shop yet, make sure to please do so. The link will be in my description. Also, you guys can check it out on our Discord. If you guys haven't joined that yet, make sure to please do so as well. And make sure you guys hit this redeem code up here on your final purchase or whatever deal that we're on. Right now, we're on 25% off the shop. That will change eventually, so make sure you guys go check that out. Get every 25% off all the store or whatever code that we're on, or whatever redemption that we're on there, and you guys can get some awesome stuff. We have shirts, we have t-shirts, we have aprons, we have long sleeve shirts, we have coffee mugs, we have pants, we have matching outfits, all that fun stuff. And you guys can get it in 3 different logos here. We have the Money Lord Tradition logo, we have the Money Lord Nation logo, and we have the Money Lord Sign logo all by itself. And we have everything available for you guys in all different platforms, all that stuff. Like I said, if you guys already hit my link in the description, check out our store. I really do appreciate y'all, and without further ado, let's go ahead and get things going here. Alright guys, like I said, thank you to our shop sponsor. Like I said, if you guys want to check out our shop, make sure to please do so. Some epic merch down there, getting better every single moment, so make sure to check it out. But this is how you would sign up. If you do hit my link in any description or in the pin chat or any live stream, it'll take you up to here, and it's pretty simple to sign up. No need to pay, all that's fun stuff. Just need 3 things. Just need your name, what platform you're playing on, and your Epic username. That way we can add you when we officially start the tournament. As you guys can see, we already have 13 people that signed up. Thank you guys so much for signing up. I really do appreciate y'all support. We're as of this recording, we're only in day 6 of signings, and we already have 13 people, which is incredible. So like I said, if you guys want to check out and see what we got, pretty much appreciate. Make sure you guys please hit this up, get this one a sign up coming to the tournament. Make sure you guys do it before August 8th. The deadline is right up here, August 8th 2026 at 10 p.m. And yeah, we really would be excited if you will join. So hit this link, get in here, sign up, get ready to play, and yeah, it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be a fun time. Alrighty folks, so we are back here at the tier list here, and I kind of got that plan simple for today. Like I said, I'm not going to dive into, I'm not going to try to make this too complicated. So you have the winners tier, you have the losers tiers, and I put a neutral tier in here, and the reason is because some teams to me made a couple moves that I honestly do like, but at the same time we don't know how it's going to turn out, or just kind of like what that term I normally say, we got to see it to believe it. So that's basically kind of what that tier is. Hopefully that makes sense. So without further ado here, we're going to go ahead and start off with Atlanta. And to be completely honest, dude, I thought Atlanta had a pretty good offseason. They got Lou Dort, they also got Ryan Nembhard, and I do like what them two provide off the bench for Atlanta. But at the same time, like, it just really depends how they fit with that system of the team, because it just kind of feels like how are they going to play with Johnson. So it just feels kind of funny to me, but at the same time, like, they really did upgrade it. I'm gonna put him in neutral. Like, so I gotta see how this fits. It looks good on paper, I just gotta see how it fits, especially with Jalen Johnson. Next up, we got the Celtics, and I'm not sorry to say this, but yes, they are losers. If I'm being honest, they're probably one of the biggest losers this entire offseason. Why in the world would you trade Jaylen Brown? What sense do you have to trade Jaylen Brown after he was literally top 5 in my MVP conversations last year? The guy was balling last year. This man was the only reason why you guys were a 2 seed in the East and in the Eastern playoffs just a year ago. Why would you trade Jaylen Brown? Also, not that you're only doing this in that trade, you only got Paul George and a couple of picks. Basically, what you're doing is you're downgrading your youth power. Like that's basically what the Celtics did this offseason. Like I know you still have Derek White and Peyton Pritchard, but still, like that's not a good trade. This is a terrible offseason here for the Celtics. Basically, you're basically just flip up a coin and just wish that Jason Tatum's 100% healthy. Next up, we got Brooklyn. I'm not too much of a fan what Brooklyn did this all season. I'm gonna say the losers as well. I know they got Julius Randle on like a decent sized deal, but at the same time, like they haven't really done too much of anything else besides that, or at least I haven't seen any trade packages with their name or stuff like that. We'll look at it when we do the reactions video coming up here shortly, but I just don't like what Brooklyn is specifically doing right now on either side of the end on the off season. Next up, we got the Hornets. The Hornets are interesting here because first thing first, when I saw they traded Melo Ball, I was like, why would you trade Melo Ball? This guy was the only reason why you guys made the play-in tournament last year. But at the same time, you got Naz Reid. Naz Reid, he isn't bad, but at the same time, like he could be like I would rather have still a Melo Ball than Naz Reid. But at the same time, like they have so many picks now that they could literally go out there and control the future. That's basically what this is. So for the Hornets, this is actually one of the hardest ones to rank because you want to call them a loser because they gave up Melo Ball to the Timberwolves, and that could suck. But at the same time, like you have all the potential in the world to go out there and do something great in the future, and your team is bright as hell, or bright as whatever. I'm gonna put him in neutral just because I just need to see what this. I just need to see what this looks like. Is this gonna be the good side of Charlotte, or is this gonna be the bad side of Charlotte? Who knows? Time will tell. But it will be in the future when we get to know this. Next up, we got the Bulls. I mean, the Bulls actually didn't do bad this all season either. I mean, they got Norman Powell from the Heat, which I do think he's a good shooter. Also, they got Nick Claxton to be replaced with Nikola Vucevic, which I don't think that's a bad deal at all. But at the same time here, like I get they're trying to what they're basically trying to do is they're trying to get a starting five where they can remain competitive. That's basically what Chicago's doing right now. But at the same time, I just don't think this team made enough moves that I just don't think that's really going to convince. Yes, they got better, but I just don't think they're going to. I'll put them. It's just hard. I'm going to put it in neutral right now. We just need to see what all of this looks like next season. Now we have Cleveland. I mean, assuming that James Harden is now on the, assuming him that he's staying with Cleveland, I'm gonna put him in neutral because Cleveland hasn't really made a lot of moves this offseason. But we already know what this team is capable of. It's just that the Cavs just plain and simply just haven't really done anything this offseason. They're basically running it back with the same roster, but that's smart in my eyes because if you just went to the Eastern Conference Finals this year ago, then yeah, you should stick with your current roster and just stick with what you got. Next up, we got the Mavericks. Yeah, I gotta give them a loser. I actually don't like what the Mavericks did this offseason. Just don't think they did enough to build around Cooper Flag. I just don't think they really did that. Now, I know you're gonna get Kyrie Irving back, but just by me looking at the roster and basically what kind of changes they're making, I just don't like what the Mavericks are specifically doing. I don't know what they're aiming for, and it just kind of feels like Cooper Flag is just gonna be by himself for the last couple of years. Unless Kyrie Irving comes back and be like the fully healthy Kyrie Irving, like we saw, like when he was like Uncle Drew version of Kyrie Irving, which I don't think we're going to see that, but if we do, that'll be incredible. But besides that, I just don't like Dallas's game plans or game schemes or anything like that. I just don't like it. Now we got Denver. I mean, Denver is a pretty interesting one here because Denver actually did a pretty good, decent job of retaining their core, like Jokic, Murray, Gordon. Glad they were to keep all of those. Cam Johnson, who they were to keep. But at the same time, like Bruce Brown, he's kind of questionable. I think he will return to the roster. You got him. You got Tim Hardaway Jr. went to the Heat. Jonas Valanciunas is now off the squad here. I'm gonna put him in neutral because it's just kind of hard to rate Denver, even whether they got better or worse. So I'll just put him in neutral. But I do like they got Tyus Jones. I do like that trade though. Next up, we got the Pistons here, and the Pistons are actually kind of a hard one to rank here because I mean, we've seen this, and I said this last year, that the Pistons rely on Kate Cunningham way too much. And I said going into this offseason that they're gonna need to pick up some shooters, and somehow they did. But at the same time here, I probably, if I'm being honest, I probably still have to put them in the loser category because they gave out Tobias Harris. I don't think that was a good trade. San Antonio got him, and I thought it was a steal. Honestly, I thought that was a steal of Detroit, and I thought Tobias Harris was probably your top 3 best player on the roster last year. So with this trade like being in here, like I know the shooting guards that you got, but losing Tobias Harris was a big part here. I just don't think that was an ideal trade. Plus, I think this team just consistently slacks on building a team where they have shooting and consistent defense. Like, they already have a good defense, but their offense just sucks. That's why they haven't been able to go where they want to go. Next up, we got Golden State, loser. I mean, if you don't do anything this off season, that's a loser itself. Especially what kind of a team you were last year, and basically what's going on around the Western Conference. Because every Western Conference team is like so good. There's like 11 good Western Conference teams now. If you don't do a single thing in the off season, then yeah, you're a loser. Next up, we have Houston. Houston, I'm actually a fan of. Houston's actually going to be Houston. The Rockets are actually going to be the first one in my winners category. I actually love what they did this offseason. I mean, they got Marcus Smart from the Lakers, who is a fantastic 3D wing that can provide you some offense and some defense. They also got some really good shooting at Bogan Bogdanovic, which I can't ever pronounce his name wrong, but I apologize in advance if I do. But anyway, he's a heck of a shooter that you can put live as all Kevin Durant. Also, you'll be able to retain all your rosters like Reed Shepard. I thought he was impactful role last year, and not only that, you got Fran VanVleet coming back with this roster too, and now you bring in Marcus Smart and Bogdanovic. I like where Houston is headed right now. I think they're going to be good next year, or at least better than what they were last year. Next up, we have Indiana. I don't know. Indiana's just a weird team. I mean, because they're weird because they basically rely on Tyrese Halliburton here, but at the same time, like, I don't know, like they're just weird. They're just kind of a hard team to rank. I'll put him in neutral right now because, like I said, we need to see how Tyrese Halliburton. We need to see when he comes back off injury, see what he can do. We also need to see on how this team bounces back from from the 2 years finals team below. See how he develops past because Siakam's still there. So it's going to take some time and some patience, and I'm very curious to see what that looks like for Indiana. So I'll put him in neutral right now. Next up, we got the Clippers here, and I'll be completely honest with you. I think the Clippers are actually a winner. I actually like what the Clippers actually did this offseason. I normally don't say that for the Clippers, especially for a team that get rid of Kawhi Leonard, who's one of the best basketball players if fully healthy, which is, and I know people are gonna rage at me in the comments, but listen, I think this team, I think this team was way too old last year. I think they have a lot of old bodies last year, and now they get younger this year. I know they lose Kawhi Leonard, but they do get Brandon Ingram this year. They do also get Grady Dick from Toronto. I think he's been a pretty impactful piece. Brandon Ingram, we saw what he did in Toronto last year. Also, they get Rui Hachimura from the Lakers, which we're going to talk about here in a little bit. They get Rui from the Lakers, who was one of the best three-point shooters in the NBA playoffs just a season ago here. Listen, I know they haven't made too many trades, but what they trades and what they did and what they got for Kawhi Leonard and basically stole Rui Hachimura, I think that's a win. Now we got the Lakers here. I mean, I hate to say this, but I gotta call my team a loser. I don't think we won this offseason. I think we kind of threw this offseason in the bed a little bit. Now I know the Lakers actually recently got some good guys like Quentin Grimes, stuff like that. Guys that can actually play 3D, guys that actually play both sides of the ball. But my main concern here is that I'm looking at this roster currently, and we basically got rid of majority of our roster this year, including LeBron James. And now I think this team is just basically relying on Austin Reeves and Luka Doncic being fully healthy for a majority of the season, because it kind of feels like this is a team that if we don't have those two healthy, then we don't really have a lot of options to go to on offense. I mean, we overpaid Walker Kessler. I think we overpaid Austin Reeves. Don't really like the moves that we did this offseason. I mean, it's just a disaster here for the Lakers. This is probably one of the worst off seasons I think we had in our recent history, especially losing Marcus Smart too. I thought that was a killer. Next up, we got Memphis. Hey, listen, their future is actually pretty good with Cam Boozer because he actually looked really good in NBA Summer League. I recently just watched him; he looked fantastic. But at the same time, like the Grizzlies traded John Morant to Portland, I don't think that's a really good combination for Memphis because at this point I just don't know I don't know if Memphis is hitting the reset button or they're just going all in on Cam Boozer. I'm not sure what they're going to, but yeah, the Grizzlies are going to be a loser this offseason because they needed to make massive changes. And besides John Morant, and guess what they did? They traded John Morant. Plus, I mean, I know John Morant got injured, but like I said, he's probably your franchise player. I just don't know why you would trade him. Next up, we got Miami. Yeah, Miami's a winner. Anytime you get Giannis is a winner, right? I mean, especially in a situation that Giannis is not going to be playing in because Giannis didn't have the best coaching in Milwaukee. Also, he didn't have the best roster in Milwaukee. Now he's going to go to a Miami team where Bobby Portis is his teammates going down with him, and he also gets to play beside Bam Adebayo. And now he gets to be ran by Eric Spoelstra, who's one of the best head coaches, if not the best head coach in basketball currently. And plus, I just think that Miami actually did some really good things. They got Tim Hardaway Jr. They got a sharp shooter in him. I really like his shooting from a season ago with Denver. I think Miami is just kind of in that position. Plus, they have plenty of money left over. I think Miami, if they make a next couple moves, I think they could bring themselves back to title contention in the Eastern Conference. Next up, we got the Bucks. Yeah, I mean, I hate to say it because I am a Bucks supporter, but yeah, they are pretty much a loser here. I mean, like I said, anytime you lose Giannis, I mean, that's just a painful environment itself. Of course, you're gonna be called a loser when you lose your franchise player. Plus, I don't know how Tyler Hero is just going to be working with this system here. I know he's going to have the Heat bench, and I know that Heat bench could be very impactful, like Harkaz Jr., Scanlins, all guys like those. But I just don't think that Giannis is going to be able to do too. I just don't think missing Giannis is just going to be too painful for the Bucks. I just think that's going to be really painful for the Bucks, especially with Tyler Hero right now as your best player. I just don't think that's going to cut it. Now you got like Torian Prince, you got all those guys, but I'm just not cutting it. Next up, we got Minnesota. Yeah, I'm gonna say a winner. I think Minnesota won this offseason. I mean, we got Melo Ball now be paired up with Anthony Edwards. I think that's a scary backcourt. Also, I just think that I think the Wolves' main majority of this offseason was getting Melo Ball because they need somebody else to score the ball other than Ant-Man. No, I give credit to Julius Randle. No, Jay McDaniels because he actually had a lot of cool moments, and the Wolves were able to keep him too, which I think that was a big part of this. He was able to step up and score a couple points for Minnesota here, and especially during the playoffs. I thought he was spectacular in that Denver series. So I thought he played well. Also, I think that Melo Ball and the Edwards, like I said, that's going to be a scary backcourt. Be able to keep Rudy Gobert, majority of the bench, re-sign Asumbu, and those guys there. Everything they had last year is back, except for Nas Reed. I like where the team is going. Next up, we got the Pelicans. Yeah, they're losers. I mean, the Pelicans. Did the Pelicans even really do anything this offseason? I mean, no, they did. The Pelicans. I mean, they part ways with Brandon Ingram. I mean, they and ever since a couple years ago, and then ever since they just failed to build a roster, like a good roster with Zion. Plus, Zion keeps getting injured anyway, so yeah, the Pelicans are losers. They didn't do anything. Next up, we got the New York Knicks. They are actually a winner, and I know they didn't really make too many trades last year, but let me tell you guys why they're a winner. They are a winner because they do what defending champions are supposed to do. If you win a championship, I'm talking to you, Indiana. Anytime you make the finals, you're supposed to keep that core that you had that same year and then run it back. That's basically what New York is doing right now, and that's why they are a winner. That is the plain and simple reason why. Now I know they let go of some key pieces, and that's okay because the Knicks don't have the money to pay all of them back. But at the same time, like even when they got players removed, they got some decent backups to follow up with that. So the Knicks are absolutely a winner. Now we have the Thunder. I mean, they always win, right? I mean, I don't think I've ever seen the offseason where the Thunder actually lose an offseason. I mean, just think about it. I mean, they actually they probably had one of the best drafts this year's draft I think I've seen in a while. Basically, I don't know what his name is, but they drafted that 7'3" guy to try to guard Wemby. They basically know what they needed to do this offseason and did it. And I think OKC is trying to go right back to winning a championship, which I do think they can. I still think that team's really good. good. Now I know they lost Lou Dort to the Hawks, and that might suck. But at the same time, but that's okay because the Thunder have so much depth. Plus, I'm excited for Jaden McCain because this might be his grand opportunity to start this year. So we'll see. Next up, we got the Magic. I mean, the Magic didn't really do anything this offseason. I think the Magic are just like, you know what, we didn't have the best offseason, so we're just going to run it back. We're just going to stick with our core and just see what we got. And on paper, this Magic team does seem really good. So the Magic just Magic seem one of those teams that drive people frustrated because they're not doing good or nowhere near as good as the people would thought going into the year. But at the same time, maybe this is one of those rosters that takes time. And then, with the Magic team that has Paulo, Bencaro, Desmond Bain, you have Franz Wagner. It might take a little time, plus that team is a little bit young, so I'm gonna put it in neutral because it just kind of feels like, when are they gonna turn it on? Could it be this year? Could it be the next couple years? We don't know. They're gonna turn it on eventually. But the question is when. Next up, we got the Sixers. I mean, they have to be winners, right? I think the Sixers actually been one of the biggest winners, if not the biggest winner this offseason. I mean, not only did you get Jaylen Brown to add on to your roster, they be able to bring back Edgecombe, Maxey, and Embiid and get Jaylen Brown and LeBron James. That's why I had to roast on the Celtics earlier, because I don't know why they would give it Jaylen Brown, especially to a team that they just lost to in the first round of the playoffs last year. And now it's Philadelphia. Looks like one of those teams that's just going to be hard to beat, man. Like I said, this team's going to be challenging. They're going to be physical. They're going to be tough. And if everybody stays healthy on Philadelphia, they might be one of the best teams in basketball. Next up, we got the Phoenix Suns. Actually, believe it or not, I think the Suns, they kind of nailed what they did this offseason. I think what I was looking for the Suns was exactly what I thought was going to happen, and that's why I do think they're a winner. Because one thing I do like what the Suns did, even though they kind of let go of some players, well, not Deep Book because he changed his number, but that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when it's off the roster. But the reason why the Suns are actually a winner is because the Suns definitely upgraded their wing depth, which is number one thing I think Devin Booker needs. I know Devin Booker's gonna do all the scoring for you, like he's gonna do the heavy lifting, but at the end of the day, he's gonna need some help. I thought the Suns did a really good job of getting him some help. You got him, you got help. Now you got Miles Bridges, which on the trade to Charlotte. I actually like that trade. I think he could play really well with Devin Booker. Got Luke Kennard from the Lakers. That's another sharpshooter right there to go along with D Book. You still have Dillon Brooks, who was actually pretty good last year, even though I hate him, but he was pretty good last year. And you basically re-signed the whole core. Like, I like where Phoenix is going. Next up, we got Portland, and I'm gonna put Portland's kind of a hard one to rank here because you would think like Portland with John Morant is going to be something here, but at the same time, like Portland now has like 3 point guards that they can start, and they're starting five if they really wanted to. Drew Holiday, Damian Lillard, and John Morant. They could literally start all three of those guys if they really wanted to. Shit, sorry, I'm yawning. But at the same time here, like Portland, they could be in a position here that they keep Danny, like they could be a good team. They just made the playoffs last year. I don't know, Portland. Like I said, this team is just hard to rank. I'm gonna put them in neutral because I'm very curious what they're gonna do with the three guards that they have, and I'm just basically curious about everything now. Portland's kind of like one of those teams like coming into this year that I'm just very interested in. I'm very interested to see what they're gonna be like. Now we got the Kings. I mean, they're losers. I think the Kings been losers since like 3 off seasons ago or something like that. The Kings didn't really do anything to help themselves. I mean, they just didn't. Plus, I think they lost this off season too because they let go of Keon Ellis. I think he went to Brooklyn, which is someone that I thought was a pretty decent shooter. And then who knows? Like after they released DeMar DeRozan, which I think that was another mistake. Plus, you don't know what Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan. I mean, Zach LaVine and Sabonis. I mean, you don't know what them going to do to free agency. I heard Sabonis had somewhat of a chance of leaving that team. Like the Kings are just a dumpster fire. Like I just don't know what's going on over there. Next up, we got the Spurs. Absolutely, they are a huge winner. I mean, anytime that you can go to the finals and lose that final, I know you lost in 5 games last year, which sucks, but ain't it best when you can basically go in here, re-sign your whole roster, keep Wemby, extend him out to a 5-year deal, even though you could argue that's a little too much money, but or like a crazy amount of deal or something, but you're able to keep Wemby, you keep all your guys, keep Harrison Barnes. I don't know about De'Aaron Fox, but I do think he is staying on the team, but I'm not going to clarify that. And then now also you add Tobias Harris to your your roster, which is a really good 3D guy that can play both defense and offense, I think that's an absolute win. Next up, we got Toronto, and I know Toronto got Kawhi Leonard from the Clippers, and I call the Clippers a winner, but at the same time, I think Toronto is a winner as well. Listen, I thought Toronto also made some nice moves. I mean, they only had to give up Brandon Ingram and Grady Dick for Kawhi Leonard. Plus, I think Kawhi Leonard actually fits that Toronto system pretty well because now you get to pair up with Scotty Barnes, and I think those two could be pretty deadly with each other. Plus, I think Toronto was a really good team last year, even without Brandon Ingram or Grady Dick. They're a pretty average team last year. They're a team that can give some teams some problems, and if they do that again, especially now with Kawhi and Scotty, they're going to be dangerous. Next up, we have the Utah Jazz. They got rid of Walker Kessler, but the one thing I do like about the Jazz is that they basically got a whole bunch of first-round draft picks for that, and that can be massive. So basically what the Jazz are basically set up to do is, because they actually do have a decent roster right now. I actually like what I saw from Keontae George last year. They got Jaren Jackson Jr. in that mix now, which I'm very interested in how those two work with each other. Jaren Jackson Jr. probably should be back this year. So Utah is actually one of those teams that could be a little bit interesting, or one of those teams that might bother you every single time you play them. But they're kind of like in the middle, just because they're basically just setting up for the future. Like, here, we got all this stuff. We're gonna get future draft capital for the future. The question is, what are you gonna do with it? And I think that's exactly why I'm gonna put them in the middle. And last but not least, we got Washington, and Washington is a absolute winner. I mean, how do you not call Washington a winner? Washington is a winner. If you guys see what they did last year or this offseason, they are a winner. They are a team that is actually stopped. They are a winner. They are a team. Actually, no. They are a team that is ready to not get brutalized every single year. And listen, I think Washington's actually turning some heads here because they actually got some good pieces on their team now. AJ looks phenomenal during the summer league, and I think he's going to start. Also, they finally got some star power with AD if he stays healthy. Trae Young if he stays healthy. You got them too, and then you have Chris Middleton, which I do think he's a knockdown mid-range sniper. Plus, I think they have a good bench too. I think they're actually starting to build a foundation down there in Washington. And they also got DeAndre Ayton, which is a capable center that's capable of doing anything. Like I said, I just think that this team is just ready to take that team to the next level. They're not ready to get bullized every year. They're just, you know what, we had enough of this. We're ready for a get back, and I think it starts here for Washington. So I thought you guys had a pretty good damn offseason. Alright guys, and that's going to go ahead and wrap it up for this video here. Like I said, if you guys already, make sure to hit the like, hit that subscribe button. Let me guys know what you guys disagree and agree with in the comments. Like I said, I'm going to hop out and get this thing. You guys can watch it on time. Appreciate all the support. It's BearNation.com. Peace out. Stay safe, everybody. And I'll see you good people in the next one. Peace.